All right, wonderful people. So I wanted to thank everybody for being here. And I am excited about us moving forward and breathe. So breathe and breathe ORT, they're here, designed, they're the first things that we're launching for our soul care seminars. Christ anointing and comprehensive counseling approaches restores entirely. That's what the CARE stands for. And so I wanted to introduce a little bit about myself, just tell you guys a little smidge about who I am and what I do and why I do what I do. How about that? So we have started Breathe ORT. I am a licensed professional counselor, board certified telemental health provider. I have a PhD in education. I'm also not only licensed in Mississippi, but I'm licensed in Alaska now. Woohoo! And I have not been to Alaska. No, I have not, but I've provided counseling there a lot. Board certified telemental health through, and so I've been doing that since COVID. One thing that I wanted to share, it may not be on the slide. One of the things that I have done that I feel is very important. I've written it down on so many different things that we've talked about. And one of the things that I have done that I wanted to share was that I've worked in so many different genres, well, I say genres, but settings, residential treatment facilities for addicted mothers and their children, group homes for children, group homes for teenage sex offenders, a women's prison, correctional facility, acute partial hospitalizations, intensive outpatient programs where I did a lot of groups a day. Intensive outpatient is a group setting. And so regular outpatient, inpatient, and a whole bunch of other things, you name it. I have done quite a bit. I've been in private practice since 2008. My husband and I started True Understanding Ministries, which is the parent company for Balanced Living Counseling Services. And we started that in 2004. Been married 30 years, got 3 babies, in ministry, a servant leader in the church for 30 years. I'm not saying all that to say, well, this horn, but no. Why I'm saying this is hopefully, prayerfully, and I pray every day that I'm using those skills to help other people because I can't, everybody has gone through something, right? We've gone through something and we need help and we need each other. And so that's what I'm here for, is to just let people know that that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you. And hopefully something that I do will take you out of being in pain, will take you out of being in stress that you've gone through. So this is why we developed Breathe. And so Breathe is to help us to, this is more about what some of the things that we're going to do. But Breathe is about us helping us overcome trauma. It's a class. This is going to be a class. So it's a master class. And what can we do to overcome trauma, anxiety, stress? How can we have self-care? So my whole goal, what I do in counseling, I'm going to teach in this class. This class is not just for counseling. It's not just for my clients. It's for anyone in the United States, because it's going to be a class anywhere in the country, really, in the world, because this is a class. This is not just counseling. So it's going to be an additional for other people. So if you have family members that are in other parts of the country or wherever, friends, please, once I get this information to you and you say, yes, I want to be a part, I'm going to send you a link to join. For the month of January, it's going to be free. I mean, for February, we're in February now. I've been trying to do it since December. So I've been trying to give this gift for a minute, but it's going to be free for the month of February. That's what we're in now. And then after that, it's $50 per group. Right now, rather than it being every week, we're going to do it once a month. So Breathe for adults is the second Saturday at 3 p.m. Breathe for ORT, Overcoming Racial Trauma, that is going to be on the third Saturday at 3. And then I have Breathe for Teens. And Breathe for Teens is so important because our teens are going through a lot, right? And so we have Breathe for Teens on the 3rd Saturday at 1 p.m. So I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit of that. I do not want to start the song. Sorry, it wanted me to start, but I'm not starting the song. So I wanted to let you guys know the differences. So I would say post-traumatic stress, I did put that down there, but ORT specifically is overcoming racial trauma because it never stops, unfortunately. So you can't ever get past the post because you're still dealing with it, unfortunately, a lot of times. But this group is, it's going to be a fun class teaching you coping skills. So it's a 3-part plan. I don't have it on here, so I'm going to just tell you about it. My 3-part plan for Breathe or Breathe ORT is first finding you some avenues where you can pour out, process. That's the first thing that helps people to get to the other side, is processing what has happened to you, what you're going through, what is stopping you from being able to move forward, those roadblocks. That's the first thing, processing. And I'm going to teach you a ton of different ways to process. You may have been doing journaling, but I got some news for you, different things that you can do in the class. My goal is, if you will give me the feedback, you guys are my beta group, I guess. If you're willing to join with me with this, I'm going to be sending you some things, and I'm going to ask for your feedback on what's working, what's not working. And I'm going to give you a ton of ways to process. And so that's the first thing. And I want you to tell me, yes, this is working. No, that don't work. Second thing is learning and implementing coping skills. The first one, it's in the name, is deep breathing. So we're going to do that today. We're going to do 2 or 3 of different types of deep breathing, just kind of give you an idea of what we're going to be doing, because deep breathing is something that's going to help you physiologically and mentally and emotionally. So we're going to be doing that. And the third thing is self-care, self-love. So many times we're running around busy, and we don't take time for ourselves. We don't take time out for us. So that's some things that we're going to talk about. And I think the 4th thing that's kind of unsaid is just being in a class/group setting, because then you finally have a time and an opportunity to be able to take care of you. You finally have that opportunity to, I'm sorry, guys, I'm playing with this computer. I don't know. You finally have an opportunity to be able to share your mutual experiences and realize, okay, I'm not crazy. It's not just me. You know, it's not just me. I'm not the only one that's going through this. I'm not the only one that had this happen or that happen, right? And so it's very important to be able to have that in a class setting, in a group setting. Okay, so that's what I want to do. Question. I say this all the time, so feel free to unmute yourself if you want to. When you're traveling in an airplane, some people globetrotter more than others, Joy. When you're in an airplane and the flight attendant says, when you are, if the cabin loses pressure and we're in this emergency state and those airbags come down and you're traveling with a small child or vulnerable adult, who do you put the mask on, you or that child?
Me.
Right, globetrotter knows. You have to put it on yourself first, right? Because if you pass out, you cannot help that child. You cannot help the vulnerable adult. So I want you guys to realize that I was thinking, oh, this is a mask. We're wearing masks all the time right now. We're having our masks. We're having to be safe out there. But this is your mask. This is your virtual mask, if you will. And so I want us to be able to take care of us first. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, we've done it. A lot of you guys already know, because if you heard me blabber on and have indulged me and listened to me in any type of form or fashion, you know deep breathing. But we're gonna start with deep breathing, and then I'm gonna let you chime in, and we're gonna talk about how it feels, what it doesn't feel. I want you to unmute, and we're gonna talk. Okay. All right. Okay, so deep breathing. I want you to breathe in slowly through your nose to the count of 5. If you do this, you're not going to make it to 5 because it's a shallow breath and there's nowhere to go. So you have to slowly breathe in through your nose to the count of 5. Then you're going to hold, and then you're going to breathe out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. And I want you to let your shoulders drop, and I want you to relax. And I want you to just get all into it. Okay, so I'm going to count. And I want you to put your hand on your stomach, at least one hand, so that you can feel your diaphragm fill up. All right, I want you to breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Breathe out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, breathe in again. If you can close your eyes, feel free. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. And then breathe out like you're breathing through a straw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you breathe out, I want you to just say, relax, it's okay, I can handle it. That could be your mantra. Relax, it's okay, I can handle it. Because most times when you're having anxiety symptoms, you're thinking, I can't handle this. This is too much. I can't. So that's why when there's something going on and you can't, maybe do the deep breathing. Something's about to pop off and you want to hurt somebody. Then you can just tell yourself, relax, it's okay. These people at work, I can handle this, right? My children that I want to string up, woo, relax, it's okay, I can handle this, right? Whatever the scenario, situation, family members, people, whatever's going on, use that. And that's a way to relax. My teenagers, school teacher getting on your nerves, or your coworker, your classmates getting on your nerves, using that is so important. So that's the first thing that I want to try, that I want to tell you. Okay, so I want you to unmute. And even if I'm in education, I've taught in higher education before, but I promise you, I can't just lecture on because I'm an interactive person. So I want you to tell me, how did it feel doing the deep breathing? Anybody? There, you gotta unmute.
For me, it was very relaxing. And it's like doing meditations. I mean, I think because now I take it serious because it really helped me. And I'm able to relax. And yeah.
Okay.
It's just sometimes I have to remind myself. Early on when I first started meditating, I had to remind myself when people did stuff, how I responded. I had to remind myself to just take a deep breath and walk away or whatever. But yeah, it made me feel relaxed.
Have anybody ever told themselves, I can't handle it. I'm just this way, or my mind works this way. You ever heard that, had that happen? My mind works this way. I just can't. It's the way I work. Yeah. And so we can handle it. We can help it. Even though we think we can't, we can help it. We can get through it. And so it's just a matter of habit. And I am an optimist. I can't be pessimistic and think, well, some people just doomed, their mind just don't work. And, that may be, but I'm going to lean on optimistic side. And most people, it's habitual, even if we learned it, even if it's hereditary, and we do got some little biochemical situations going on, and we may have taken medication, still, it's something that we can work through. So, and that we can really change by our habits and what we do. So hopefully that's something that we can get into. Okay. All right. Anybody else as it relates to thinking about the deep breathing? Okay. So one thing I wanted to talk about was, okay, we got COVID and we got the racial trauma. It's Black History Month. So let's go into some racial trauma for a minute. It's Black History Month, and we're talking about overcoming racial trauma. So let's process one thing. One thing that has gone on. So we have the video even though it was choppy and it didn't work too well, but I Can't Breathe. I want you to listen to that by Dietrich Haddon. But what were some of the thoughts that you were having? Anybody can chime in if you want to, when you saw that 8+ minute video of George Floyd. I was hurt. I was devastated. I'm gonna start, and anybody wanted to chime in? I mean, you could feel it. I could just feel it throughout my entire body. When I say devastated, when I just say hurt, and that was just, you know, when you look across the world, not just in America, but across the world, how people protested and how they reacted, because in their every area of the corner of the globe, someone is dealing with something very similar. And yeah, for whatever reason, people with different backgrounds think that they need to hurt or somebody else, that they want to think that they're better than somebody else. And it was hard to watch and to go through. And a lot of times, I mean, I have a 21, he's now 21-year-old son, but then you have Breonna Taylor, you have, what was it, Sandra Bland? You know, you have Black women, young ladies that were also gunned down or victimized. And so it was a very scary time. It still is if you allow it. So it was traumatic. It was a very traumatic time. And so anybody want to share how they were feeling? Because for us, scared to go out the door, you're already scared to go out the door with COVID, and then you got that, you know. Anybody? Sarah, I'm gonna pick on you. Sarah, you got youngins, you got grown men. How did you feel?
Well, I felt the fact of a lot of when I go out the door to go anywhere, as you said, it's always the point of going out and saying, okay, be careful what you do, be careful what you say, be careful how you act around this person and things like that. And all that crosses your mind when you walk out the door, because you don't want to do anything to offend anyone to get yourself in a bad situation. And then my thing not only goes that way also, but it goes the other way around, to where I think of my children when they go out, to make sure no one, that they're gonna not run into anyone that's gonna do anything, or my sons are not gonna run into someone who has got it in for one police officer because of another police officer, and all those things like that crosses your mind. So to me, it just makes me know I gotta stay in prayer. Because if I don't, it's going to stress my mind out, just thinking about not just myself, but my family.
Exactly. And that is key. A big part of who we are. I know I am a counselor, but I'm also a person of faith. And I know even when we were dealing with someone who is dealing with addictions, and we have like 12-step programs and things like that. That's why we incorporate the spiritual, because it's so much that we go through that is not in our control. And something you said, I was like, yeah, we want to make sure, but we can't really make sure, especially if they're grown. How are you gonna make sure that your children, your babies, are safe? I call them babies, you know, but you got 20-something, 30-something year old, you know, we got different people here on the call, and you have 20, 30-something year old teens, 20, 30-something year old more year old adult children, and you can't even make sure sometimes the little babies. And so what do you do with that anxiety when you're just flooded with fear? So I'm gonna give you another one we're gonna do real quick. This one is called Palms Up, Palms Down. There's a scripture that says, cast your cares on me because I care for you, right? Is that what the word tells us to do when we got all these concerns and worries? Because we can't handle them. If we try to hold all of that in, it is so toxic. So class, emotions, a lot of times we hold it in because we feel like nobody cares. I don't have anybody to talk to about it. We hold it in. It can be very toxic on our bodies. That's why we have sickness and illness and high blood pressure, you know, and the rate for strokes and high high blood pressure, strokes, and heart attacks for women is rising. So we have to take care of ourselves. That self-care is so important. So cast our cares on him because he cares for us. It's the same thing. So I want you to join in with me with deep breathing. I want you to breathe in. Breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. And then I want you to breathe out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One thing I want you to think of, what it speaks peace to you. I call water liquid peace. Water to me, like a water fountain, I love it. I love water just trickling. And so water is liquid peace to me. Now, if it's like a rainbow or a bouquet of flowers or a butterfly, I want you to visualize what speaks peace to you. And what I want you to do when you have your palms up, this time when you breathe in through your nose, you're going to have your palms up. And you're going to breathe in and you're going to be visualizing. Like I say, for me, it's water. It's just like water with, I don't know what, 70% water, whatever kind of percent water. I visualize from my head and from my toes, the water is just coming through and it's flooding, it's washing out all of my cares and worries and concerns. I'm not an avatar like a waterbender, right, kiddos? But I am visualizing all of those worries, concerns, fears coming up out of my body as I breathe in. You know, it's filling my hands. And then when I get ready to breathe out, it's palms down. And I'm casting that care on God. I'm casting it. So whether that's like a big fluffy raindrops or a trickling rain, I'm going to visualize that. For you, it may be, I don't know, there's a stream of rainbow and you visualize that rainbow. And oh, it's like a little swirly ball of rainbows. And then you just, somebody else, it may be, like I said, butterflies. But I want you to visualize what is peaceful for you. Or maybe flowers. Somebody might love roses and flowers and it's just coming out. And it's in your hands and then you're casting that care on God. Okay, so I want you to take a moment. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to visualize all of those cares that you have coming out. I want you to breathe in all those cares, all those worries, all those fears, feeling them in your hand. I want you to hold, and then I want you to breathe them out, cast them on God. When you're releasing those cares, releasing those fears, releasing those failures. Let's do it again because we got a lot of stuff in there. It's still there. So we're going to breathe in again, breathe in. Let it come from your head, from your toes, all the way through, from your chest, all the way up from your stomach, feeling it in, running through your arms, filling your hands. And I want you to do palms down and release that. Cast that on God. Cast that down. Failures, worries, things that are not in your control. And I just want you to release it and let it go. So that's another breathe technique that I want you to practice. And if you're like me, that felt pretty good.
Yeah.
That felt pretty good stuff. So I want you to practice that on a regular basis. Practice doing that and see how you feel. Okay? See how you feel when you practice the deep breathing and the deep breathing, casting those cares, because they come. We have things going on in life and they come, but that's something that you can practice. So I want you to put that into practice, okay? And try to do that. Okay? All right. There's one more that I want to tell you about. A lot of breathing exercises. That's why I named it Breathe. There's a lot more. In counseling, I always tell people, oh, I'm going to give you these, and we don't have enough time sometimes. So the class is so important, I think, because it's a time when we can actually talk. Like, you might not feel like talking right now, you just want to gather it in, but we're going to do this at least once a month. And if we get enough people, we'll do it, and they're interested, we'll do it, twice a month, and so on and so forth. So believe it or not, there's a lot more to do, meditating and different things. So if there's some people, when you are having anxiety, it affects, one of the things that we do as practitioners and we're evaluating is, are you having sleep disturbance and appetite disturbance? They may ask you that. So sleep disturbance, that's a real thing. You're having anxiety or trauma and you can't sleep. Your mind is racing to 90 to nothing and your body is not relaxing. It's dancing. You can feel it, the nerves endings in your body, your synapses are firing in your head. You're just like, oh my God, I can't. And you're trying to relax. And you don't want to take melatonin or some other sleeping medicine all the time. You want to try to rest on your own. So this is something I want you to do, but not laying down. But I want you, this is a mindfulness practice. So this is the last one we're going to do. So this mindfulness practice is kind of like progressive muscle relaxation. We'll do that next week. But this one we're doing with the breathing. So you want to take a deep breath and just breathe in. And then what I want you to do, if you're at home, next time I warn you, you can take your shoes off and you can wiggle your toes. But right now your shoes is on. So we're going to start with our feet. And I want you to just sit there and just be mindful. Take a deep breath. And I want you to see what's the sensation on your feet? What is the sensation on your toes? You can wiggle your toes. What does it feel like? And you just want to see that stress release. When you're in the bed, you want to just release the stress from your toes. Just same visualization, like the palms up, palms down. Maybe just see, I don't know. Maybe you like rose petals, lavender, whatever smell you like, just visualize it coming out. Okay. And the same thing with your calves. And you're just going to go on up your body. Like, okay, I can visualize taking a deep breath and I am releasing all the stress out of my calves because I've been walking today or I didn't walk and they hurt and it's arthritis, whatever. And you're going to let it go. Then you're going to come up and I want you to feel and if you got to touch, feel free to touch yourself. Your feet, your thighs, that is. I want you to feel the stress that's in your thighs. All right, and just release that stress. Just visualize, take a deep breath and release that stress out of your thighs. It's a visualization. Same thing with your glutes. Your gluteus maximus and minimus, your butt. Visualize that stress, especially if you were lying down. Visualize that stress just relieving out. Take a deep breath, breathe in, and you're releasing that stress. Releasing that stress. You might be relieving it from duty. You are dismissed stress. Imagine your abs, your stomach, same thing. Sometimes our stomachs are in knots and we worry so much about so many things. So I want you to breathe in and you're saying, I'm releasing it. I'm letting it go. I'm relaxing in that stomach area. Same thing in a very critical area when it comes to anxiety is your chest. You want to visualize you breathing in and then visualize relaxing and all that stress leaving your heart, leaving your lungs, leaving your chest. And we're going to do that one again in your heart. Places where you're in pain, where you're hurting, when nobody knows and you're trying to cry yourself to sleep at night. I want you to breathe in and I want you to release it. The next one, I want you to breathe in is your shoulders and your neck, all the tension that's in your shoulders and your neck. You're going to breathe in and you want to release it. Breathe out. Letting it go. We're letting it go. We're letting it go. Okay, and the last one is your face, your mouth, your cheeks. Just breathe it in. You feel the tension in your face and your mouth, and you just laying back. And you're releasing. Last one I forgot is your arms. Same thing. They may be feeling really heavy. And you want to just feel that, the weight. You want to breathe in, and then breathe out. Release the tension, the stress, the weight, the heaviness that's on your arms. So many times we try to carry the stress, we try to hold on to things, and we got to let it go. Because there's so much that we cannot handle. And it's okay. We don't have to handle it. We got a God that is big enough to handle anything that we're going through. And what we think is our responsibility, because faith without works is dead. We say those scriptures. What we feel like maybe that we do need to do, that's okay. We can do that. But when we fail, God is right there to take care of us. He is our dad. He cares about us. He loves us. So where we feel like we may fall short, he's right there. Okay. So that's what I wanted to do for Breathe as an intro. I just wanted to give you those. I want you to practice those, right? I want you to practice that scanning of the body and breathing in and releasing it. I want you to practice the palms up, palms down, of visualizing whatever it is. And you notice that I visualize something good. I didn't visualize something nasty and gross and coming out of us. Because we put ourselves down so bad. Lord help us. We talk about ourselves far worse than any enemy would ever do. So visualize a good thing coming out. It may be some things that need to get out, but it doesn't have to look bad. Okay, so I want you to visualize a positive look. Water is my liquid peace. Yours may be flowers. Somebody else's may be a fragrance. Someone else may be rainbows. So I want you to do that. And the other one is deep breathing. Take 5 breaths in, holding, and then breathing out for the count of 5. And telling yourself, relax, it's okay, I can handle it. Okay? And I know that if we continue to do some things, that we're going to get better and better and better. So I hope that this has been helpful. So I want other people to join in. I want you to be able to tell your friends. Like I said, for the month of, for this month, even though we only have one more left, which is on the 3rd Saturday, this is free for Breathe ORT. As you can see, I mixed them together, but I want to differentiate them out. Breathe is going to be just for straight anxiety, depression, emotional regulation. We're going to talk, okay, women focus, all women on here, which I figured, I didn't even really say women's group, because I figured it's going to be all women. We're going to talk some women stuff. I think my husband on there, he's supporting me, but he you know, but I think it may end up being just women. If it's men, then we'll make it an adult talk. But if it's all women, we're going to talk about some women issues, about managing those different things. There he is. And we're going to talk about toxic relationships and how do we heal from toxic relationships? How do we recognize toxic relationships? How do we just take care of ourselves? How do we deal with just being everything to everybody, and that socialization of women need to do everything, you know, and learning how to take care of ourselves and putting that first and foremost. So we're going to talk about a lot of different dynamics. That's Breathe. Breathe ORT, that's on the second. Breathe is in the 2nd Saturday. Breathe ORT is specifically for overcoming racial trauma. So if you know someone, we all know some people, we've gone through our own prejudice and various different prejudices, but some people have really, that we know, have experienced violence, racial violence toward them. I've had people, I'm thinking they're coming in for one thing and they'll tell me, oh, I was counseling someone, and I was working with Talkspace, I think, or Better Help, one of those online. And one of the people I was counseling was in California and had an awful situation happen with them with the police. People all over the world dealing with various things. So if you have friends, family, someone you know that has dealt with a racial traumatic situation, child in jail for the wrong reasons, or maybe the right reasons, but it was still police brutality or brutality they've been dealing with, various things we are all going through. I want, hopefully, for Breathe ORT to be there for people of color. People, because of COVID and a certain person who wanted to call the COVID virus the China virus. You have people who are Chinese that have been abused and targeted. You have people who are Hispanic. You have people who are Jewish. Different cultures and different reasons. People think they have a reason to violate people. So that's what Breathe is for. Breathe ORT is for. Okay, and then we got our precious teens, our children. If you know some child who's struggling, and you know we're trying to stop the hand of suicide over our children and our young people. If you know someone who's a teenager who could benefit from coming together in this type of format, and it's going to be fun, and we're going to do a lot of different things. We're going to do a lot of different things for us older folks too, guys. We will. I promise you, we're going to do some fun stuff. But this is a quick intro. We are going to do some fun things. But I'm most definitely going to make sure it's fun for our kiddos. If any of you have seen Encanto, I know we talk about Christian things, and we know Disney is interesting, but they have the movie with Encanto. I had a Hispanic guy this morning trying to tell me how to say it correctly. But anyway, it's on Disney, and it's a really big, interesting thing. They actually have a therapeutic whole platform surrounding Encanto, and so Encanto, how you pronounce it. And so I'm going to introduce that and talk about that, not only in Breathe ORT, because it's about racial complexities in the Hispanic population, but definitely with our teens, because they love that movie. It was awesome. We don't talk about Bruno. No. So it was fun stuff. So we're going to do a lot of fun things like that. So I thank you guys for coming. What I will do, now that I see that you have joined, I'll send you a little quick reminder, like here's the information, how you can join. It will be on my website. It's drlizseminars.org, DRLIZ seminars.org. That's my website. And so I'll have a different scheduler on there where you can schedule and join, sign up for these classes. Okay. And every time I'm gonna bug you, I hope you indulge me. I want you to give me some feedback and like, this is what I like, this is what I didn't like. Be gentle. I'll try to take constructive criticism well. Be gentle with me. But I'm going to send that out each time because I really do want your feedback. You're awesome women. You're awesome people. You know your stuff. And I know that you'll give me some good feedback that we can just make it better and better and better. That's the most important thing, so that people can be helped. And if it's something I'm doing that's not helping, we're going to kick it to the curb. And if it's something that is helping, we're going to pump it up and we'll add more if you have ideas. Okay. All right, wonderful people. I thank y'all for coming. Sarah, Frankie, am I missing something? If I am, y'all chime in. And if anybody has any questions real quick, feel free to jump in.
No, not at all, Dr. Smith. Everything was wonderful and informative, definitely helpful, the deep breathing, being able to release stress and tension. And I would like to definitely put the word out for this free seminar that's happening in February, and then kind of position them to step into March and to be able to sow and give into all that God has placed on the inside of you. I was right beside you in all of those different places. I think you forgot that you was at a correctional center facility for women also, and not to mention all the rest of the facilities that you worked at while working at Walgreens as an assistant manager, mind you. So you was doing quite a bit at that particular time, but God was pouring inside of you. And I can remember while you was at Walgreens that Kenny Hagin walked in and spoke to you, and then Kenny Hagin laid hands on you. So that you have a lot of importation inside of you. So I want people to avail themselves to what God has placed on the inside of you, because it's a lot, and that anointing is definitely there to heal, deliver, and set free. So it's wonderful, great opportunity. I'm definitely going to put the word out there because you have a lot of life in you that you are pouring out into others, and that anointing is there to heal, deliver, and set free. So thank God.
Thank you, sir. And coming soon, you're going to be launching Glory Life Transformations class,
Yes.
right? So you
It'll
can
be
teach
coming up
people,
real soon.
right?
Glory
So
Life
you're gonna be
Transformation.
and keeping your little how to get fine by yourself. You're gonna teach other people how to get fine. Since you lost 150 pounds.
Yes, I lost
and
150 pounds.
You're
Yes.
gonna launch your class and actually teach other people how they can get
Of
extra
course, Dr. Smith. I'll be launching a Glory Life Transformation. Three key points that God have given me on how to lose weight and sustain that weight loss, and then move in His health and strength. So Glory Life Transformation is just that, being transformed. How He can take 10 minutes. He spoke to me, and I'm gonna let it go after this. But He spoke to me. I was in the car, just really going through something, dealing with some things, but praying, believing God as a pastor, praying for people, praying for myself and family, and just really having a lot of back pain. Took leave in 2017, took another leave in 2018. And as I was going through that, I was praying and believing God and standing on His word. And I said, God, just heal my back, heal me. I thank you for moving. And God spoke back to me and said, son, what you invest in grows. Not you big, you fat, you just ain't doing, you're not disciplined. No, what you invest in grows. So if you invest in yourself through faith and trust and belief in God, God will trim it off and enable you to step into that health and healing that He has for you. And Glory Life Transformation is teaching you to invest in yourself. All right, God bless.
All right, sir. Thank you. All right, anybody else? No. Well, thank you so much for joining and jumping on. And I'm going to send the information, and I look forward to you stepping back in. You're going to also have an opportunity to join Pastor Smith's Glory Life Transformations. I talked to him into at least doing one free one for February to get a taste of that. And I'm so glad you joined, and I thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you for having us.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to be bugging you a little bit. Just send out a quick little survey later, okay? And feel free to let me know how you felt about it.
Thank you.
Thank you, wonderful people. Y'all take care.
You too.
Right.
God bless
Okay.
you.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.